changed everything. The way I walk, the way I breathe. Will my fate shift into the night? But here I am, same old thing. Thinking deep, no ecstasy. Reality haunts the living mind. If I saw another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, sticking up without the same mistake. Darling, when you go away, it won't be as simple for you.
Yo guys, Old Man G here, back again. We're doing a Euro 2020 quarterfinal preview, as well as a look back to the round of 16, and what an epic round of 16 that was. But remember, guys, if you're new to the channel, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow me on Twitter and WeUnite, smash the notification button, play this nice news, like the vid. It does go a long way. I'm joined with an amazing panel to look back at the previous games. Damien, Patrick, Chimera, Klaus, Vishwa. Guys, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Great, man.
We're good, man.
Good. And shout out to everyone who's watching the comments, guys. If you have any questions for us on the panel, please obviously let us know. Get involved, get interactive. We want to be good. So let's just get stuck into it, guys. Let's look into it. But before I even go into talk individual games, what was everyone's just general thoughts on the round of 16 games? Like, I've heard people saying this is probably the best Euros they've watched in a while. Like, general thoughts, like, is it what you expected? Did it live up to expectations? Did it succeed expectations? What was your general kind of sense from it?
What, are you starting off with Damien because he's next to you?
Oh yeah, Damien, go on.
Well, my thoughts on like the whole Euros right now, or
maybe not so much the whole Euros, but just the round of 16 games. Like, is it what you expected?
a couple of matches was some of what I expected, but there were some, a couple of surprises in between. Obviously, the Netherlands getting knocked out, and I forgot the other ones, but yeah, there was a couple of shocks in there, and that's what I like. I like seeing a couple of shocks in the tournament. And yeah, I think this has been a pretty good Euros right now, especially in the knockouts, and hopefully, it continues to the other stages.
Cool. Patrick, thoughts?
Man, I don't know. I don't know if you were there. I'm now ducking. I'm ducking the blue studio. Because I made a challenge. I was like, clock me. England ain't doing anything. England is gonna get clapped. So
yes.
I said it's not coming home. I also made fun of my own player. I think we're gonna see Zinchenko cry again while now I'm in the mud. Look, I was impressed.
Your City players are bored. That's interesting. So
yeah, I'm happy for him though. I'm happy for him, man. Like, if you guys know the story about this Zinchenko fella, his country was at war, and that there was no football, so their team had to go. Is it Russia or part of Russia to go play football? And then City picked him up from nowhere, and he said he couldn't believe that Pep was on the phone call saying, I want you to come to City. So he says, all this has been a dream for him. That's why he appreciates. That's why he's very passionate. That's why he cries. So you see what, man? I was impressed by Ukraine. Somebody did say Ukraine seem to be so passionate, and they seem to have luck on their side. So you can see by that game, luck. But you know what? Shout out to your boy Forsberg. I never knew. That was the first time I saw him. I was so impressed. That's why I'm saying I'm a Premier League merchant. That Forsberg guy seems to be talented. He's already 29. I feel bad. Yeah, go on, Klaus. I can't hear Klaus. What is he saying?
I didn't think. Klaus, did you say anything? No, just okay. Go on, Patrick.
So
Continue.
that Forsberg guy, I was impressed with him, man. I saw a bit of De Bruyne in him, the way he was passing the ball, the way he was controlling the game. But that was a surprise. And then England also a surprise. Czech, what a big surprise. Not impressed by Rabiot's mom giving out to the Mbappe family after the penalty miss, as if her son is all that. So look, man, Red, this tournament has given us surprises, and that's what I like. I was hoping, to be honest, part of me was hoping Croatia beats Spain just to bring more drama. I think we laughed at somebody when they said Switzerland is going to make it. Switzerland have made it. So looking forward to the quarterfinals, semis, and the finals. That's what I can say. But it's been impressive so far. Denmark, by the way, shout out to Denmark too.
Shout out to Denmark. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. Klaus, man. Obviously, maybe didn't feel so great yesterday, day before last. But take that aside. We'll talk about that later. What are your general thoughts on the Euros, the round of 16 so far? Klaus, can you hear us?
I think he's having issues. Remember?
Okay. Your mic's not muted, so either you're away, you're not here. But we'll come back to you anyway. But right in the private chat, Shimra, man, what are your thoughts?
I mean, so most of the matches went the way I expected. The ones I didn't see coming was Netherlands and the France one. Those are the ones that shocked me. And what shocked me is how dominant Belgium was. I mean, not Belgium, Portugal was in the Belgium game. How many chances they had? That's what shocked me, because I didn't think they'll be able to actually outplay Belgium. But that shocked me that they were able to. I thought Belgium would win, but I didn't think they would win like that. I thought they would win more, not comfortably, but I thought they would be in control of the game more than Portugal. So that's what really shocked me. But overall, man, it's been a good Euros. So I'm not gonna complain.
Shriman?
Yeah, man. Dude, let's just be glad that we got fans back. Fans are back in the stadium. Do you see how amazing Wembley looked? I swear the fans just got England that win. But not just England, everyone else. You can see how passionate these players are playing. After the tough year everyone has had, let's just be glad. Let's just be glad we have such high-level football coming back. It's been such a treat. And if I'm being real right now, let's take the teams that have been playing the best football, and they deserve to be in the final. Who is that to you, Red Devil? Who are the two best teams who are playing the best football right now?
I mean, to be honest, it's none of the big teams. If you talk about best football in terms of most entertaining, it would probably have been, based on the round of 16, it would be Denmark.
Yep.
And then probably
Italy.
I wouldn't even say Italy, to be honest. I mean,
no, really, off of form, these are your two most informed teams right now.
Oh, sorry. If the question is informed, then yeah, Italy. Oh, I agree. I mean, if you're talking about in terms of entertaining, in terms of when I'm watching,
I just mean the best football, really. They are quite entertaining, because if you see, they've scored a lot of goals. They've scored a lot of goals so far. So
I would definitely say they're definitely up there. But I guess I'm just so impressed by how the little teams have been doing. Let me just see if that's right. 1 second.
Yeah, but yeah. So the point really goes back to, those are my two teams that are going to end up in the final.
Well, Patrick, your mic's a bit off here. Oh, he's switched his mic off. Okay.
Yeah, Denmark, and Italy are going to be my two teams in the final.
Denmark and Italy.
Yes, sir. Well, if we really want to go over the Ukraine game, Ukraine are playing with so much passion right now. I love that Patrick was talking about Zinchenko, because what a performance! What a performance he put in there. And Shevchenko is really, really motivating these players to play at a high level. You know, it is amazing to watch. And you could tell a guy like him, he didn't want to go to penalties. He's had bad experience in penalties, if we're being really honest. So
there is that. I mean, like, bro, the guy, and to be honest, it looked like that way. And like I said, we're gonna get to it, you know, because I have a few thoughts on a certain somebody that plays for Manchester United who should be at least partly responsible for the issue. But let's quickly go over to our reviews actually. So I was going to start with this actually. I was going to start with Belgium versus Portugal, and just how people generally thought that game went. Did Belgium deserve to win the game? I think the first key thing before getting to it is obviously the big news coming out of this is the fact that like Eden Hazard and Kevin De Bruyne are both injured. Now, I think a lot of people might say, well, Eden Hazard being injured, is that a blessing or a curse? He's not really done much. But I think Kevin De Bruyne was certainly a miss for this Belgium side. So I guess my two questions going to the panel are, do you think that Belgium obviously deserved to beat this Portugal side? General thoughts on the game. And then do you think that they will struggle against an Italian side without those key players? So, Damien, you're up.
For me, I mean, I thought Belgium, well, I thought they were like sometimes like a bit fortunate that, you know, Portugal didn't take their chances. And, you know, Couture had to make a couple of good saves, but yeah, I think Belgium, you know, they stuck in there, you know, didn't collapse. I was surprised that, you know, they kind of went defensive very early in the game. I thought that could have really just went sideways completely if Portugal didn't take their chances, but, you know, they didn't. And, you know, Belgium, they're deservedly, you know, in the quarters. And I think losing, you know, Hazard and KDB are both, you know, massive, because I'm going to be honest, the replacements for them, I mean, it's probably going to be like Carrasco and like, I think like Mertens and like, let's be honest, like that, those two aren't like, you know, on the same level as, you know, Hazard and KDB. And it's going to be interesting to see what, you know, Belgium is going to do in, you know, the quarters against Italy. I don't think they're going to win, but I guess we'll see.
See. Again, just guys are watching in the comments, please like the vid, and get your questions in. I'm having a look at the comments, so do let me know. So some like going live with Sancho. Yep, Sancho to United has been confirmed. I have a video on the channel if you want to check it out. So, but if I'm perfectly honest, I don't want to say I don't care, but the deal has gone on for so long that any passion or enthusiasm I had basically died a long time ago, and I'd rather just talk about the Euros. To be honest, I'm just much more interested in it. Like I
went
just
on for like a year.
I say I don't. It's not that I don't care. It's just the way United do deals. But yeah, Patrick, man, thoughts on this game? Thoughts on Belgium going forward, especially with the likes of Hazard and KDB injured?
I think this was the game that almost made everyone sleep. If I'm not joking, I think this is the one. It was, I don't know, it was boring. It was I think we expected too much out of it. We were expecting very high quality football. Obviously the game was won through a moment of high quality by the Hazard that has taken over, and it's about time we start accepting that Hazard's brother was not just signed at Chelsea for the sake of being a Hazard and making Hazard happy. I think the kid actually has talent, and I think going forward we're going to be surprised. Hazard and De Bruyne. I'm sorry, I'm a City fan, but I think also De Bruyne with his injuries, I think things might be going the wrong way. Him and Hazard, I think. Belgium right now have to start looking at maybe Hazard's young brother and some of these guys who are younger to maybe start showing up in this Belgium team, which I'm happy for. Like I was very happy that the young Hazard is the one who had the moment, because a lot of people just overlook him, and he's talented, but they'll overlook him. So look, it was a boring game versus Portugal and Belgium, and it's not what I expected. But if you also talk about Portugal themselves, let me just say, very disappointing. A team full of talent, but very disappointing. A team full of talent, but they haven't shown much. Bruno, this tournament, no show. I think without penalties, that penalties go to Ronaldo in this team. I think he didn't shine. That's not a dig. That's just saying.
Easy,
I think he didn't
easy.
shine at all.
Say it, man. Say it.
Bernardo Silva also disappointing. Just that one good moment. Uh, Joe Felix looks like when he came on, he was very lively. I don't know why he was busy. He was sitting on the bench. So look, all this talent in this team, and they didn't impress that much. Belgium, I think they're gonna struggle. I think against Italy, they're gonna struggle because they haven't convinced me in any game. I'm sorry, like they haven't really convinced me, even though they played some good games, but they still are lacking something that if they find a good team, I think they'll struggle. The defense is also full of bricks, no offense, full of players that are very old. Um, look, that's all I can say about this Belgium and Portugal game. I think it was a bit boring until Hazard's brother. Also, that's the only moment that was exciting. The Hazard goal was exciting. That's all I can say.
No, that's fair. I think that's fair. Bishra, man, your thoughts?
Yeah, Patrick really hit it on the nail there. Really, I don't know how much more I can go off of that, but it makes perfect sense. How is Belgium really convinced any of us? They really just played pragmatic football. Just waited for Portugal to make a mistake, and just went off a wonder goal. And really, too many of their superstars are not going to be available. And it's not like their bench is like all that bad, because you're going to get Carrasco to come in, and Thorgan Hazard is probably going to have to play a bigger role. But just the way that they play, I figure it's just going to come down to tactics, man. Like Italy's midfield is clearly going to outnumber Belgium with the Witzel and Tielemans midfield, right? You're going to have like the likes of Marco Verratti. You're going to have Jorginho, who just won a UCL, and then probably the last call up is going to be between Locatelli and Nicolo Barella. So that looks a lot better than Tielemans and Witzel to me, Just being objective, because I was actually not giving Italy credit at all. And they've been playing probably some of the best football in the whole tournament. So
yeah, honestly, they might be the best team, man.
Fair. Shimra, man, your thoughts, man?
And this match, man, like I do agree, it was kind of boring, bro. Because I mean, I had a feeling, because I was saying that in front of my mind, this match might be boring, because I see the way Portugal play. Belgium, man, they want those who like to possess the ball without actually doing anything. Like, from what I saw in the group stages, so I mean, I know a lot of people are saying sack Santos, but I just think it came down to this Portuguese team. They don't really have chemistry like that. When I saw them, like they didn't really seem like they had chemistry. I think after a year playing with each other more, and next year I think they'll be better in the World Cup. I think people need to be patient with the Portuguese team. They don't really have chemistry like that from what I saw. And then the second, what scares me though for Belgium, as far as Italy concerned, is the fact that when Portugal actually went out to attack them, Belgium looked like helpless. Like Belgium couldn't even get out their own half at all. They were like
We saw that against Denmark, when Denmark, I think, went and pressed Belgium for was it the first half and even the second half to a certain extent. Belgium, they couldn't get out of their half. They were woeful. But obviously the quality from the likes of Hazard and De Bruyne and Lukaku basically won them the game. That's why I'm concerned, because if Hazard and De Bruyne are out and you just essentially relying on Lukaku to do something, is this going to be an issue against Italy?
Yeah, there's no outlet. And the thing is, and Italy played that way the whole game. Like the way Portugal was playing in the second half, Italy, they're going to do that from the beginning of the game. Like that's the thing. So Belgium it just comes down to tactics, like Vishwa said. Martinez needs to analyze his options. He needs to get his tactics right. Belgium have a size advantage, so they need to use the size on set pieces and try to get a goal from a set piece. Score one breakaway, and then that's 2 goals there. So let's see. I mean, I think Italy can be had because Austria showed some weaknesses, and you know, I think that Austria game showed some weaknesses in Italy because the forwards don't take their chances like that. So if Belgium can hang in the game, like the longer it stays 0-0, even Belgium sneaks in one goal. Belgium have enough quality in their team to win because I mean they have a better team than Austria. So I mean, and Austria gave Italy a very tough fight. So it's just up to tactics to decide the game.
That's fair. That's fair. Close. Is your mic working now? Can you hear
Yeah,
us?
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. We can hear you. What are your
Okay,
thoughts on
okay.
Belgium, Portugal, man?
I mean, Red Devil. This was a Zard Brothers masterclass.
Yeah.
I mean, no. I was surprised, to be honest. I could not expect Hazard to play this well. Eden Hazard. Not to play this well. I could not expect him to play at all a game. So I was really surprised. Really surprised. To be honest, I felt sorry about Portugal because they tried. They played. I think they played better than Belgium, to be honest. But they couldn't find the net. That was the only problem. And I mean, Jota was horrible, to be honest. And what else can I say? Cristiano try as a 36 years old to play like that. I mean, he's outstanding. He's impressive. And your boy Bruno did not show up. So I mean,
He didn't.
He didn't. But okay. I mean, I wanted, to be honest, I wanted Portugal to go through because I think it will be a more attractive game to watch with Portugal between Italy than Belgium between Italy, because the more I see this Belgium team, I'm not impressed at all. But anyway, this is all.
Fair enough. Let's move on. We'll just preview towards the end. We'll preview the Italy versus Belgium game. But I just want to just get everyone's just thoughts, obviously, on the round of 16 games. So we'll just quickly move on to Italy versus Austria, and there was a brief allusions to it. I guess from this, I mean, Austria for me, they really did give Italy a go there. And, you know, if it wasn't for VAR, Arnautovic, obviously, he was offside, but you never know, you know. But this is where key moments come into the game. But they didn't make it easy for Italy. And I think that's the general theme of the round of 16. Bar, I think, probably Wales versus Denmark. All the other games were very, very close. Quite a few games obviously went to extra time, and obviously one went to penalties, which we're going to talk about in a bit. But you know, for the panel, do you think that Italy are favourites now to win it? Has this team convinced you? Damien, do you want to
go? Yeah, I do believe. You know, especially after a couple of teams that got knocked out, I do believe that Italy are favorites. And you know, I thought like if France didn't get knocked out, they could have been like, you know, Italy's kryptonite. So now that they're out, I basically think that Italy's, you know, the best team and, you know, the favorite to, you know, to win this Euros. I thought for the Austria game, I mean, fair play to Austria. I mean, I didn't expect them to, you know, to be that hard to beat. They took it to extra time, and, you know, it took them like 100 minutes for Italy to score against them. And you know, the first goal was, you know, a brilliant goal by Chiesa. And the second goal was a pretty good goal by Pessina. And yeah, I thought, you know, Italy's class show that day, and I feel like that Chiesa right now needs to start for Italy. I forgot who plays for Italy for like right wing. Yeah, but I think he has
Domenico Berardi.
Oh yeah, the Sassuolo guy. Yeah, yeah. I think Chiesa needs to start, and yeah, I thought, you know, Italy played well I think in that game.
Fair. Thanks, Damien. Patrick, you said you need to head off. You said final thoughts. I guess just comment on the Italy-Austria game. And do you think Italy are favourites to win the Euros?
I think they are because they're playing as a team. They're the only ones who are playing as a team. Of course, even though we are hard on them, England also played as a team and they impressed me the way they socked the pressure. But there's a lot of weakness. So Italy look like they're balanced. And they look like they're up for it. I don't know if you can feel that. I feel like they're up for it, and Mancini has made a team here. Like this is a team. So some of the teams need individual brilliance, to win. They need somebody to show up to win. Italy look like they can actually win as a team. So I think this team is going to be difficult for everyone. They're going to make things very hard for everyone, and it's going to take a team that also is playing very well. That's why I think one of the guys on the panel said we have to be wary of teams that are actually playing good, like Denmark. Teams like Denmark, you see, teams like Switzerland, who people were saying Shaqiri ain't going to do anything against France. Now who's laughing? So look at it. These teams that are playing as teams, I think, will be more of a problem than teams that have got stars in them. Because till now, since I'm leaving, I'm still not convinced by England. I keep saying that. I might be saying a jinx and they'll end up winning everything. The thing is, I am impressed.
England are our favorite. England are our favorite to win the competition.
Close, chill, close, chill. I know what he's trying to do. We're going to come to England, Sweden, England second.
So guys, I'm just going to leave it. But my last thought is I think Italy will be a bit trouble, and Denmark and Switzerland, the three teams will be trouble because they're playing as teams. And let's not even forget the passion match against Ukraine. They seem like they're obsessed to look good. If you've noticed that, they want to look good. So anyway, thank you guys, man. Thank you, Red, man. I will join your other streams or other stuff later on.
Appreciate it, Patrick. Man. Have a good day, man. Have a good day, man. Have a good day. Bye, thanks, come on. Take care, man. Take care. Vishra, man, thoughts on Italy, Austria? Do you think that Italy are basically favorites now?
Yeah, man, it's all about matchups, though, isn't it? That's why Austria really gave these guys a tough time. They watched the game tape on Italy, and really trying to match up against expansive football. They knew how to do it, but you got to see, you got to give Italy the flowers, man. They're playing the most convincing football at the moment, and I love Fede Chiesa. I've actually been following him for a long time, but he makes sense coming off the bench because if you tire the defense out, he's gonna look so much faster and superior and get you a late goal as he's been doing every time he comes on. But he's just playing such convincing football that he definitely deserves a start. Yeah. So it's kind of like the teams that they're coming up to play against need to get off on a good start because relying it on later, they're just going to counterattack you. You're going to keep seeing a lot better teams coming into the tournament. But Red Devil, if I'm being honest, I really want to hear your thoughts on England, man.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
I'm building into it.
Coming on, guys.
Where is coming?
We are building into it. FPL Yellow says Switzerland 1, Spain 2. These are predictions. Okay, Switzerland 1, Spain 2, Italy 3, Belgium 2, Czech Republic 0, Denmark 0, 3-4 and penalties to Denmark. Okay, Ukraine 0, England 3. These are pretty. I think these are pretty solid predictions.
The Czech Republic one, but I just don't see the end of 0-0. I think that might be the most exciting one.
Denmark will probably want to go out for it. That's a fair point, actually. So also Italy 3, Belgium 2.
Yeah, I can't see that.
I don't know how Belgium is scoring 2 goals. How is Belgium scoring 2 goals?
I think that might end up being boring, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think the other two, I think I could certainly hear that. But thanks for the predictions, man. Thanks for appreciate it.
Those are good predictions.
Yeah, good prediction.
Shimmer, I think I'm on you. Have you talked about Italy, Austria yet?
Oh no, not yet.
No, yeah.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
I mean, Italy. Like Visher said, Austria was a good matchup for Italy because Austria. People were like Austria are actually a decent team because Austria's thing is they really press high. Like they press high, and Italy likes to play expansive football. So that's why it was so tough for them because Austria just didn't let them play. You know what I mean? Like they pressed high. They're a physical team. They're a big team. Like like that was a tough matchup for Italy. Italy really had to work to win that match. Like and we could say Austria if they didn't have that to go to Salah, who knows what happened? Like So, but to be a champion though, you need to win games like this. You got to win games like this because look at Portugal. How many games they won this way? They had to dig deep.
Exactly.
Score. And look at Spain. Spain went to penalties for Portugal in like 1 year. The games like this, you got to dig deep. You can't just coast through your way to a championship. It never works like that. So the fact that Italy was able to win this game, they didn't fold, showed me something about their makeup. So I think for sure they're the favorites. They have the best coach, I think. They play.
Mancini's good.
Yeah, Mancini's a really good coach, and they have a pattern of play where they know for sure like this is how we're gonna play every game. They don't adjust for the opponent. The opponent has to adjust for them. That's what I like. And then also like the midfield is the best, man, in the competition. Like everybody in the midfield is press resistant, man. They can beat the press. The only weakness they have is their forwards. If their forwards finish chances, most time nine times out of 10, they're gonna beat you. But if the forwards don't finish, then at that point anybody can beat you on one day. Like that's the only thing to watch out for Italy.
No, I agree. Close. The final thoughts on this game before we move on.
I think that Italy are the second favorite of this competition. Because the first, Red Devil, who is the first favorite team.
I don't know.
And,
but go on.
You know. And I mean, before. Remember when you saw, for example, Red Devil the path before the game. In the moment the draw, we saw Spain, we saw France, we saw Belgium, we saw Portugal. Now that I see the path of Italy path, I see it's an easy path because who there they facing? A part of Belgium, who they will face? Spain or Switzerland? I mean, Italy is in the final, 100% for me.
Okay. So go on.
And that's it. They're in the final. They will beat 100%. They will beat Belgium. Belgium without Hazard, without KDB. I don't see them losing to them. So Italy is in the final for me. And I don't want them to go to the final, but they are. So
fair enough. Right. Let's move on. We've got a few more games to review. I think this is one. This was a big one. This was a big shock. And we have to start here, and a few questions I think have to be answered, and a few receipts possibly. But it's this one though. It's this one. It's not. Don't worry, Klaus. We're getting there. But this one, I think, takes the cake. And if I can just get, where is this guy? Where are you? Which one is it? Is it this one? No, it's not.
Mbappe.
It's Mbappe. Let me get 3. I think that's it. Where is it?
The prodigy.
0 goals whole tournament.
I think it might be this one here. No, it's not. Darn, I keep getting the right image. Anyway, why I still get the image? Before we even talk about the prodigy, what happened to France? How did they capitulate in such a disaster? Not that either. A disaster fashion. Like, what actually happened to them? And whose fault is it? Is it anyone's fault? Like, anyone can start or whatever. But like, what happened to France? Because they were 3-1 up. Pogba scores an amazing goal, and you're thinking that's Pogba. That's it. That's game done. And now France have gone home. So what happened?
They just lost, man. They got to take it as a team.
I mean,
yeah, you can go ahead. You go ahead.
To be honest, I didn't saw the France energy. It was like they don't want to win the game. I mean, there was no speed, no intensity at the game. I was seeing, for example, Kante and Pogba just doing simple side passes, and I don't know. They didn't show me the intensity, the desire that they always show. I mean, I don't know, to be honest, what happened. For me, it looks like they did on purpose. Let Switzerland paid France, to be honest, because I don't see how you go there and play with zero intensity. They were not trying. When the minute, I remember when it was minute 94, they were playing for penalties. They were not trying to attack. There was no intensity. I don't know. I don't know what happened. And Mbappe had a disaster class. I know a lot of people don't want to accept it, but he had a disaster class.
Yeah.
And Lenglet was horrible. It is not that I expected a lot from him, because I've seen him in La Liga for Barcelona. He is a horrible defender.
Don't remind
To
me.
blame, who is to blame? We can blame Deschamps a little bit, because he started Lenglet. He started a different lineup that he don't usually play with that lineup. And I think we can play.
I think Lucas Hernandez, a fullback, was injured, so he said they had to make shift to go to the back three. But my only issue with that is, well, I get that you could have two fullback in, but then why didn't you bring either Ferland Mendy or Benjamin Mendy? Also, you have Upamecano as well. So France did have options. That didn't come.
Ferland Mendy was injured, to be honest. Benjamin Mendy, he was okay, but I don't think Deschamps trusts him.
He's had a better season than Longley at coming in the back three. I'll tell you that, in my opinion. So, but anyway, go on.
And I mean, shout out to Xhaka. Respect Xhaka. I have never seen Xhaka to play like that. Never seen in my life Xhaka playing like that. Because I've seen a lot of games for him for Arsenal, and he's a complete different player from Switzerland. And we have to give props to Switzerland. We underestimated Switzerland even in the group stages. We said that a lot of people saying that they will not pass the group, but if we see historically, they always pass the group. World Cup, Euros, always they find a way to pass the group. This Swiss team, and
but I don't think they won. Told me statistics. They haven't won. I think they haven't won like a knockout game. Was it penalty? Well, I think those 2-6. They haven't won a penalty shootout since 30 something, and they haven't won a group game since 1950 or something like that. So this is like
historical stuff.
And they had the possibility to win the game in 90 minutes if Rodriguez has scored that penalty. For me, Red Devil, this was the most entertaining, dramatic game of all competition.
Yeah, I agree. I would even argue this year, because I can't think of many games that were this intense than this game. That had so much drama, and all it missed was a red card. But it was so. I still don't understand how France. How they capitulated so badly. Because. And that's why I guess my next question to the panel was that, do you think that there was some underlying things in the France camp that caused this? Because one thing I noticed, when Mbappe missed his penalty, no one came around to kind of console him, or the usual thing, just kind of they just let him do his thing. And I just wonder whether there was some things in the background that we're not aware of, where this French team essentially became a team of maybe egos or whatever, and they just kind of did their own thing, and they never really had a team spirit and never really took this stuff seriously. Is that fair or not?
You could say that, but I'm more so on the aspect of giving Switzerland a lot more credit over here.
Yeah.
Because if you even saw the first half, Switzerland got a really good feel of the game, and every time they actually had possession, they created really well. If you're being really honest right now, the way they kept possession and just
Sorry to
kept
interrupt,
creating
Bishop.
chances.
Mo has a good point here. I was shocked when he took off Griezmann. It was arrogance, and that's fair. Arrogance.
Exactly.
But sorry, go on, Bishop,
Why
go
do
on.
you take off? Well, why would you take off your best players? Why would you even take off Benzema? Benzema scored you 2 goals.
I thought wasn't he? Did he get injured? I thought Benzema got injured.
Yeah, you still keep him on at that point, man. Come on, like he really did not look that bad. He didn't look as bad as like KDB, for example.
He was playing for penalties, man.
Mm-hmm. It just didn't make any sense whatsoever. Like for real, like Switzerland went for the freaking game at the end. A team, any other team would probably capitulate when they see it's like a 3-1. But Switzerland reminded themselves like everyone forgot that they have a great manager. Their manager, like the commentators, I'm pretty sure were like alluding to it, how he was saying like they need a serious miracle to pull off France. But if they have any chance, we need to play this way, how we're going to play it. How they did exactly against France. So it was amazing, I think. I think we're like all this talk that we want to go into of what was wrong with France. I think we all really know what was wrong with France. We're just like making up these other things about the players that quite frankly don't exist. Because if it was that big of an issue, why was it an issue in 2018 when they were all just like clicking and everyone was happy? It's because results actually matter in this game, you know?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the reason why I potentially say it's an issue is because if we're being objective, France never up until this. The thing when I look back in 2016 when they won the World Cup, they didn't play that great, but they got the job done, and obviously Mbappe was doing his thing. I'm like, wow,
but he wasn't as big as he is now.
But he wasn't as big as he is now. And on top of that, you look at the 4 games that France have before they got knocked out. Okay, and you look at each 4, and you're like, they never really played that well. Okay, against Germany, okay, Hummels scored the own goal. That was it, another goal. But they were okay. And it was the first game. You're like, fine. Against Hungary, not great, really.
That was pretty bad.
Bad, you know, 1-1.
Not clinical, that's for sure.
You know, either team kind of was neither here nor there, you know. So again, so they in any of those games, they never really, and obviously they conceded against Hungary, 2 against Portugal, and then 3 against Switzerland. So you've conceded 6 goals in 4 games.
Yeah.
So you know, which isn't great. So that's why I'm look back and I'm like, was there something there with this team? Because I can't really say that France ever gave me a good performance in any of their 4 games.
I don't really think more so was something wrong. It's like that 2018 team was different because it you know, the defense isn't the same because Umtiti's not there anymore. Then you have who was it's Kimpembe that's in there. Then you have and I think Umtiti at his best was better than Kimpembe is now. So because Umtiti was a really good defender before he started getting injured all the time.
Really? Blaise Matuidi, I think, was there as well.
Yeah, Blaise Matuidi. Yeah, Blaise Matuidi, man, that's a guy that was underrated. That's a guy that could do everything as a midfielder.
True.
Ticks all the boxes. Then you know, Benzema came in and did his job, you know. But I just think, man, it's like it happens, man. Mbappe had a bad World Cup. Bad Euros. He just has to come in. Maybe this will humble him a little bit, you know, to let him know, you know, you're not on that level yet, you know.
Chimera, I think, in my opinion, I think they figured it out, Mbappe, because in 2018 there was not such huge hype over him.
Exactly.
Now that there are 2 men always marking him, and he's dealing with the pressure that Messi and Ronaldo always have to do it because they always know if they play, they will get marked from 2 or 3 people.
Yeah, he has to adapt.
Yeah, he's got to, because what this showed me is Mbappe, stay put where you are, stay in PSG, and let Uncle Neymar hold your hand. Like,
Uncle Neymar.
You know, like you're not on that. I don't think he's on that level yet, man. Where you can go and be the key of an attack. He can be like he's a world-class player, but he can't go and be, you know what I mean? He's not a Lewandowski. He's not a Messi.
He's a complimentary player.
Yeah, he's another complimentary. Like pretty much, he's on Neymar's level when Neymar first came. You know what I mean? When he's playing Messi, pretty much. Like, that's why I think he is. He's not on that level yet where it's like, okay, I can be the guy that can take this team somewhere. take us there. He's not on that. I don't even think. I think Benzema's better at that than he is, honestly, from what I saw. Like, and let me say something about. Let me just say something like this. This is what I'm gonna say as a United fan. Because I'm gonna be honest here. Like, and I love Paul Pogba. I'm gonna be honest, but as a central midfielder, man, you gotta defend. You got to. Like, if you want to be a complete central midfielder, you gotta defend, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to, because like a lot of I heard there was a lot of arguing going on because Papa wasn't tracking back, like in the Switzerland game. Like, that's one of the things. Like, if you want to play in the central midfield, you have all the best central midfielders. They do it both ways. You gotta track back if you want to be that complete central midfielder. That the reason we bought you, because the reason we got Papa wasn't just for his offensive. We got him for both ways to be down, to be a good, to be a box to box guy. Like pretty much what Conte is doing now. Like. Like that's one thing I see. Like, so I think Pogba needs to. I think Pogba needs to up his work rate. I think he needs to up his work because it's all great and stuff to be getting assists and dribbling. But if you're gonna play in central midfield, you got to do both ways because Bruno tracks back, but Bruno still finds a way to get his assists and goals. So I know Pogba can do it. It's just a matter of him, having the work rate to do it.
Yeah,
and I think that's what I think, man. And I just think France, bro, as a whole. You could tell they didn't really have chemistry like that, man. There just wasn't that chemistry. I just didn't see the chemistry like that they had in 2018. Because even in 2018, they didn't look convincing, but you can tell whenever they got the ball, they knew what they were doing with it. You know what I mean? Like, now you just see people just playing. Like, Mbappe plays, I don't even know what role he has on the team. He's just playing everywhere. Like, that's one of the things I saw. Like, I mean, people will say sack the shots, but you can't sack the shots, man. He just won the World Cup.
The World Cup is. I mean, that's one of the positives of this is that. Well, we're going to talk about another man who resigned.
One thing, Red Devil.
Go on.
I just wanted to say it's. For example, I saw the 90 minutes finished, and I saw the Swiss team with Xhaka in the middle, all hugging and all screaming, "We're gonna do it! We're gonna do it!" I saw the French team. Everyone was chilling. Someone was drinking. Someone was another. No one was talking at all.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't saw that. Yeah, I didn't saw the team effort, the desire that we are a team. I mean, no speech, no nothing.
Yeah, they were just like, well, we're friends. We got this. Like,
it was vibes FC. Right there.
Where does because obviously it's. I look back at this year and I remember getting trolled. I think this was in the group stage. United were there. Rashford had done his thing, and then Mbappe had scored a hat trick against Barcelona, and suddenly Mbappe was the best player in the world. Marcus Rashford, Ronaldo's finished, various other isms, the throne, the blah 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 blah, all the rest of it. And I took a massive L during that time. Since then, obviously, PSG lost the league title to Lille. PSG got knocked out in the Champions League semi-final. It's fair enough. It's a semi-final, but to a good Manchester City side, but that went on to lose in the final. And then they get knocked out to Switzerland. I would say, with all those factors, that it's not been a good season for Mbappe. Is it reasonable to say that, especially 1 year on his contract, that Mbappe needs to move to go the next level to potentially improve himself? Or do you guys think that he should sign a new contract at PSG, stay, with the fear that he might regress?
I think he needs to stay, man. If I was advising him. We're talking about Mbappe, right?
You were talking about Mbappe, yeah.
Yeah, I think he needs to stay at PSG. If I'm advising him, because if he goes to the thing with PSG is nobody in PSG looks at Mbappe like you're the guy that has to take us to the promised land. They look at Neymar like that. You know what I mean? Neymar's the main guy. Look at Neymar like, okay, you're the guy Neymar's the guy that's gonna get the most pressure, pretty much. But now if he moves to Real Madrid is gonna look at him like, okay, You're the guy that we're expecting to take us to new La Ligas, to win us a Champions Leagues. You're going to usher the new era, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, like, when Cristiano went to Real Madrid, he already established himself as, you know, everybody knew he was either the best or second best player. It wasn't, you know, like, but some people don't have Mbappe top 5, you know? That's what I'm saying. Mbappe's not on that level to me yet where you can just go to Real Madrid. It's like, oh, Real Madrid automatically now, oh, yeah, they're one of the favorites to win the Champions League just like that, you know?
And then the pressure in Real Madrid is 10 times than PSG. Fiorentino Perez has said himself, every time we don't lose the Champions League is a failure for our club.
Yeah.
So,
but this is why I said and why when I was trolled and loaned, when I was saying these things, I was trying to say, listen, this guy, when you say that a player is the best player in the world, when you say this player is that no one can touch that player, that comes with certain expectations. And so if you can't deliver those expectations, then that player isn't still the best player in the world. They go back to being a work in progress. They go back into being there's whatever. So, I just think that certainly I would argue since lockdown happened that I don't think we've seen the heights of Mbappe that we saw pre-lockdown, to be honest. And in my opinion, I'd say that he's probably regressed somewhat. So I don't think that it's going to be beneficial for him as a player to then carry that moniker of best player in the world. I need to prove myself. I need to do this or I need to do that. If that's going to be to the detriment of his own development, if that makes any sense.
I mean, Red Devil, let's be honest. When you see Mbappe game, because I've argued with a lot of people with this, they say that he will be the GOAT, the blah, blah, blah. And they all said he will never be the GOAT because he is not technical good enough. He's not a Messi, he's not a Ronaldinho, he's not a Cristiano at his peak. Just watch his game. Compare Messi at his 23, 22 years old and compare Mbappe. I remember Messi dribbling the whole team, the whole opposite team. So I never seen that from Mbappe, to be honest, never. He's an incredible finisher, but I don't see that he's that kind of player that is unique, that is special, that comes every 30 years.
Does anyone have any other? Does anyone have any other comments on this France-Switzerland game before we move on? Aside from, I think everyone's recovered from the shock of it. Well, I guess what do people think Switzerland's chances are of actually winning the Euros?
They have a chance. Once you beat the world champs, man, you can beat anybody.
0-0.
No,
0.
Yeah, Chamir's right. When you have the confidence of beating the best team in the world, who is Spain at that point? Really, who is Italy at that point? Come on.
Yeah,
if you're gonna play with that much heart, like Italy figured them out initially, but if they get a chance to play Italy again, they're obviously not gonna play as scared as they did the first.
They'll be ready.
They'll be definitely ready. So you can't really say 0%. I mean, it is pretty probable that they're not gonna win, but don't be surprised if they do make a run to the semifinal minimum.
Oh yeah, they have a chance, man. Because once you beat, for example, let's say for example Porto was in the Champions League, right? Or whoever. Let's say Porto, whoever. Let's say they played let me think. Let's say they played Man City or Bayern, right? I think those are the two best teams right now. So let's say they played Man City or Bayern, and they eliminated them, right? At that point, it's like you already beat this best team. So it's like whoever you play now is like, well, who are they now? Like we beat the best team, so it's like, why should we be afraid of anybody now? Like, because it can't get any worse. It can't get any harder than that. So
yeah, but Chimera, football doesn't work like that. Just because South Korea eliminated us from the World Cup, that doesn't mean South Korea now is favored. South Korea will win it.
No, I don't think they'll win it. I'm just saying they have a chance. Like I don't think they will, but I mean they probably might even lose to Spain. But I mean they have a chance.
And Xhaka will not play the next game because of yellow card.
Oh,
yeah, that's the biggest factor.
Oh,
Xhaka not playing is the biggest kicker here, but you can't really discredit what Switzerland has done. But that is the biggest kicker here. Xhaka put in a man of the match performance.
That man was amazing, dude.
Amazing.
He looked like
Amazing
Conte.
performance. Oof.
Yeah.
For sure. But the passing was just he was creating the chances to go forward.
It
Was the
wasn't.
thing.
Dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's quickly move on. This Euros has always been about exciting stories, exciting matchups, and I keep on getting the wrong thingy up. Spain versus Croatia. I think ultimately Spain obviously deserved to win. Croatia had a brilliant performance, but once again, and this is my only issue with this Spain side, is that much like with France, you're 3-1 up. You should really be able to see off the game, and you can see 2 goals in the last 10 minutes of the game. But Alvaro Morata obviously to the rescue, saved Spain somehow. I never thought I would say those words. But this guy he was a brick. Let's be real. Like he was a brick. He was an absolute brick. And yet,
what a goal, though! What a goal!
It was a very
yeah.
It was a very, very good goal. And what are people? I mean, redemption. I mean, what are people's thoughts? What do people think about Spain's chances now, having them grown into the tournament? Obviously, Morata potentially finding his confidence after that game-winning goal that he was actually able to score, unlike a certain Mbappe that we talked about. But,
like Red Devil, this is great that you're bringing this up right now, right? But who has given up 3 goals against Croatia? Can you think about it for a second? It's Scotland. Scotland didn't even make it to the elimination round.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah,
even you're superstitious about England. I get it, but England only gave up 1 goal against Scotland. Like, I mean, they kept a clean sheet, is what I mean.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah,
they kept a clean sheet, and that was impressive. That was very impressive. The Spanish side, like, we're praising the Spanish side and saying like how far can they go, but what is convincing about them? I don't really see anything that like scares me. And if Switzerland like directly looked Paul Pogba and N'Golo Conte and Rafael Varane straight in the eyes and said, "Oh, I'm not scared of you," who are these people like for Spain gonna scare like Switzerland for? You know,
tiki taka.
Like that is not scaring anyone.
Morata is very scary.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, dude, Morata's just so frustrating, dude. Like the guy is so frustrating. Like you see potential in the guy, but he just I don't know, man. Like,
by the way, what happened with that first goal? What with that own goal? What happened there? What was going on?
That was like a David De Gea moment right there.
Yeah.
David De Gea has never done nothing like that. Like, that was terrible. Like, that was hard.
That was terrible.
That was like De Gea and like Kepa like mixed together right there.
Do you think
that was Kepa and a bricklayer mixed together?
Red Devil, that was actually just a really weird moment, right?
Yeah,
try to put yourself in the goalkeeper situation. First of all, you're like you're creeping in some anxiety over here for the fact that the ball is coming all the way near up your shins and your knees, and you're trying to control it. But you also have the other argument is like these goalkeepers now go in rondo trainings every session, and they should be having a decent touch in order to control that. But it was like too many parties are at fault, and it's like lapses in concentration, right? But either way, it's just like I don't know how you can praise this kid like Pedri. Sure, I'm sure he's good, but those are the types of moments where you don't pick someone that young like that. I don't know if you can trust like little moments where he's just scared and like, oh, I'm gonna be more conservative and pass way back, right? A guy, for instance, like Xhaka is not gonna do that. As far as he is typically known for mistakes too in an Arsenal kit, but even he knows like I don't give a ball like that back to my goalkeeper.
Jorginho might do that. I saw that he did that.
Yeah.
So you never know, but I mean, last thing before we move on, because I think this game speaks for itself. But what are people's thoughts on Modric? Obviously, I think he had a decent tournament. I mean, he helped with his Croatian side. Like thoughts going forward, do you think he can still play on for his national team and Real Madrid for a bit longer, or do you think his time is up now?
Yeah, his time is coming. His time is coming up, man.
He's on his last legs right now.
Yeah, his time is coming up.
Wait, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Damon.
No, because this is I think this is like 60th game Modric has played this season. Like this guy has just been it's just been insane his whole career. But I do agree that he's on his last legs, and I think he probably has maybe one more good year, and then I think we'll start to see the decline of Luka Modric.
Yeah, I think Modric is about his time is on. His time is pretty much up. But that Chelsea semi was pretty suspect, man. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean that looked pretty bad because he looked overrun in that midfield. Yeah,
he got the legs.
Yeah, he doesn't have the legs anymore, man. And didn't Croatia substitute? He got substituted, didn't he?
Yeah.
Match? Yeah.
Before the game ended.
He wasn't really having a good game, honestly. Yeah, I think he's on his last legs, man. But what worries me about Spain, bro, is when Croatia actually wanted to attack, they attacked pretty easily. That's what scares me, man. And Switzerland have a better counterattack than Croatia. So
that's true.
Spain, dude, I mean, you scored 5 goals, but I mean, 3. I mean, it took you extra time to beat Croatia. 5-3. I mean, goodness gracious. Croatia, I don't even know who the goal scorers are because Mandzukic is out. He's not even there no more. No more Rakitic. I mean, 5-3. I mean, I don't know, man. Spain.
No Modric either, obviously.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Mandzukic. That was it. Not Modric. Yeah.
Yeah, Mandzukic. Yeah. They don't have. This Croatia team is not even close to that 2018 team, man. It's just really Modric and Kovacic wasn't even a starter on that team. So Spain, man, the fact that you allowed 3 goals, man, I don't know. I'm looking at them kind of suspect. But, I mean, we'll see what happens against Switzerland.
Fair. Right. Let's move on. Close, I need you to be set the stage here. Because the time has come. The build up, I'll give you the build up, but the time has come to talk about certain events that occurred not too long ago. And I don't want to expose Close because I tweets where I was told about lubrications, I was told about decimations, flops, loud play, various other things. So I'm not going to bring up those tweets because that's not fair. We're going to focus more so on the game.
No receipts, man. No receipts.
We're going to focus on this man. We're going to talk about England's chances. What's next for Germany? Obviously, Joachim is gone. What Germany needs to compete in the World Cup going forward. But first and foremost, Close, your thoughts on this game. What went wrong?
First of all, I never said that we are favorite and we're gonna win this competition. I knew that we will not win this competition 100% because we are not good enough to win this competition. The thing is that it's just bad that we lost to England. I mean, if it was Sweden, okay, but England, come on.
Anybody but them.
No, it's. I mean, and it's the problem that English people. I mean, sorry, Red Devil, but they.
No, I know.
They hype it too much, bro. They have short memory. If we open now Wikipedia and we see Germany, England all-time results, we will see 92% Germany win. Go check it.
Yeah,
but this guy forget all that. They will say, "Oh, we are the best. We are." And to be honest, I mean, and even our midfield. That is, so I knew that we're going to lose in the first 30 minutes because I saw that there was no intensity for us. We were not creating chances. Our midfield was get dominated by English midfield, and I blame English people for this. I blame them because I see because to be honest, I don't watch Leeds. I watch Premier League, of course, but not Leeds. I watch the biggest team in the Premier League. And I blame the English people because they sold me a lie. Because every time I open YouTube and I see people doing reviews talking about England, they will say, "Oh, Phillips is trash, Declan Rice trash." They sold me a lie. They were good.
They sold you, man. They sold you.
Yeah,
Red Devil. Is what happened.
Red Devil, it's not true. Every time I open, you see these people commenting about England. They always say.
Well, I always said, one of the things I said going into this game, so was that I said that what you've got to give credit to this England side is that they've not conceded, So yes, people say, oh, but who they really play, but what we've seen in this tournament is that that doesn't mean anything. So the fact they haven't conceded means that they have a good defense. And then they're going to be difficult to obviously break down the score against. And what you saw in this game is what I've said, that Southgate was very pragmatic. He matched Joachim Löw's forward. I generally think, however, that I think we actually struggled to create a lot, and I actually think the difference actually came when Jack Grealish came on. I think that when Jack Grealish came on, that caused.
I did not watch that part, Red Devil, because I go out from the club the moment English scored the first goal. After that, I don't know what happened. I will never know.
When I saw Goretzka and Kroos in the midfield, I thought, okay, I think we're going to struggle in that midfield battle, and I think that I don't think Germany's midfield was bad. I think that we just exploited the width, and I just don't think that in the end, Germany's fullbacks really did anything. And I think that they didn't, and obviously in midfield didn't really create a lot. And then Timo Werner, enough said. I'm not going to lie, when I saw Timo Werner on that starting lineup, I was like, yeah, there's hope. I
hope he retires from the national team, because I have saw him with Chelsea a lot of times, and I have laughed, but this is not more. I cannot laugh more with this guy. I hope he retires. He just retires after that miss.
Well, okay. Well, quick question, and I'll open this up to the panel. Obviously, which miss was worse, Werner's or Müller's?
It was Müller.
Müller.
It was. Yeah, I agree, but Red Devil, Müller has money on the bank. I mean, he has performed too much for Germany. Before, not this Euro, but before, because he was 2010 World Cup Golden Boot, 2014 Silver Boot, scored a hat-trick against Portugal. I mean, he has performed. Werner has not performed at all. So I'm 100% going to blame Werner more than Müller.
But you still don't miss a chance like that, no matter what. Yeah. If anything, if you're experienced, it's more so you should be bagging that away.
Yeah.
But Red Devil, are you would you consider yourself an England fan?
No, I wouldn't consider myself an England fan, but I would say I am a fan of the team. So and the manager. So I mean, the reason why I was, because England fans, as Closer said, can be arrogant and upright. I have no loss of England fans, but I just felt that Gareth Southgate was getting so much hate, and I was like, I didn't really understand why, because it's not like he's not. I was like, okay, criticize him when we actually lose or we get banked or we do something wrong. When he's done that, then give him the criticism, but don't give him the even now that we've won, people are like, oh well, they were too pragmatic. Oh, we didn't play them like football.
No. So you know what? Actually, that's actually great that you mentioned this, because the fact that we even said that he's pragmatic, I think it's doing a disservice to what he decided to line this team up as. Because coming into this tournament, I objectively said that on paper, England have the best squad on paper. If you see position by position, they have class players. And those players have played in the biggest games this season. So you got to back that. No matter who the manager is, I just thought the manager is going to take them back. But he really proved me wrong in this game because he just saw this Germany side and he really had the balls to say, like, oh, I personally think man for man, we're better than them. So what I'm going to do is set up exactly how they set up and tell my guys, like, oh, guess what? I fancy you more than I fancy Germany today. And guess what? That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and can we stop with this Southgate is trash, Southgate is trash? Because
No, he
Bro,
had some guts. He had some guts that game, man.
this is
I gotta give it to him.
this England team under Southgate has been the most successful England team since 1966. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So-
that's
In modern times, yes.
Yeah, that's literally the only reason. Not because I have any love for England fans, but I was just getting a bit tired of just hearing like just this Southgate slander and slander on the players like Sterling and stuff like that for no reason other than just it just seems to be popular for people to slander the players, you know. You know, I'm happy. I always love when I see that. So even when Morata scored yesterday, I was happy for the guy. Because like the guy's been slandered, he's been awful, and
for sure.
He's done something, he's proved his wrong. So I always love when players that are hated or bantered step up and actually prove the haters wrong.
Yeah, that's actually very respectable. The only reason I was asking is, we could talk about them objectively, right? I just wanted to dive in a little deeper into this because this England side, like, honestly, on paper right now. Who the hell has scored on them? They've not conceded one goal all tournament. You brought that up. That is the statistics of this tournament. Just like Chelsea. Chelsea only conceded 2 goals throughout the entire Champions League campaign. That is elite stuff. Clearly Southgate was going around and nitpicking a little fine-tuned details from all these teams that he can inherit with this England team.
Well, to be honest, when you look at the teams that they could potentially play, obviously, you know, I would expect that they could get a clean sheet against Ukraine, and then obviously, you know, you got Denmark or Czech Republic. That could go either way. I would expect if we face Denmark, we'll probably concede, but we'll see. But if he was to go through the tournament and win the tournament without conceding a goal, you know,
that would be unreal stuff.
That would be unreal. I don't think anyone could criticize this guy ever again. To win a tournament and not concede would be insane.
But that's like, I feel like they're going game by game and gaining confidence. The fact that they just won't concede a goal, you know? So my thing is, how is this team going to respond to the adversity of conceding 1 goal, right? And I feel like Ukraine is the perfect team to expose that. Because they actually play expansive football. They actually want to attack and have the need to attack this team, right? Because people are coming up against England and they're seeing just a wall in front of them, right? These guys are lining up so further beyond the pitch. And then you have literally like Phillips and Rice being extra covered right in front of that defense too. So it's going to be really hard to break them down, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Let's just see how can these guys play away from Wembley for the first time all tournament, and then how will they respond if they concede a goal? So, because right now the whole script has gone about guys do not lose this game. Whatever you do not concede, and we fancy our chances. Yeah.
And England. That's why England are the favorite to win this competition because they have not conceded. No.
He's right. Actually.
I know that reverse psychology.
No, it's not.
No, he's their definite favorite.
0 goal conceded.
Who's playing better other than Italy? Italy is a good shout, but England has actually not conceded 1 goal.
Yeah.
You can't really like
and they have to win it. They have to. Ukraine, Denmark, Czech Republic. They have to win it. If they don't win, they are wasting my time. Because I've seen this scenario a lot of. No, this scenario, to be honest, I've not seen it because England doesn't reach the quarter. But
I
think
think
they gotta get to the final. They gotta get to the final.
Yeah, I mean,
like if they play Italy and lose, nobody will say it's a flop.
Hey, Chimera, do you know how many finals has England played in the Euro?
Zero.
So you gotta take baby steps.
But Red Devil, like our only hope to beat England actually is Italy. Italy, like, sure, Denmark played good, expensive football too, but in terms of like actual personnel, our last hope is Italy right now. Because Spain will get clapped by England. Let's just be honest. Like that team is not good enough.
Yeah. And I think even with Italy, I think my thing with Italy, one of the things like my criticism with Italy so far has just been that like I just don't think that they played a team yet where like they have to deal with quick fullbacks, quick runners, quick pace, etc. That's my sort of thing. Like I'm wondering that when they play a team where like the likes of Bonucci and Chiellini and stuff like that really get
exposed,
pace and get exposed. You know, when someone's running at them at full pace, and we saw that in the German game. Let's be real, you know. So, like when I saw the two games, I was looking. I was like, to be honest, I can't blame them. They just couldn't keep up. When England countered, well, and obviously with the overloads, Rudiger and Hummels, they just couldn't get back into position because they're just because certainly with Hummels anyway, it's not quick enough, you know. So, I'm just curious to see because I think against Belgium, I think Lukaku is obviously is fairly quick. Lukaku's not massively fast, but he's still quite fast. So I am going to be curious to see how they deal with that type of Belgium side. You know, the only thing obviously the likes of Hazard not being there, but it'll be an interesting test.
But the thing with Lukaku is Lukaku doesn't really get involved in games unless if he doesn't get service. Or he doesn't get enough on the ball. And we saw him get exposed. Like, because I've been giving Lukaku's praises all season long. Because Conte actually knows how to use him, right? But if he's not involved like he was in the Portugal game, because I think you were talking about KDB and Hazard especially. But Lukaku did not deserve much praise in that game. He was non-existent, if I'm being real.
Yeah.
So if England can figure out a way to like, or actually Italy, because Italy, Chiellini and Bonucci have great experience going against Lukaku. But if Lukaku is going to get no service, I really don't see how he even gets involved in this game.
Yeah.
Right. Let's move on because we've still got to actually review the quarters. So I'll just quickly go through the last few of these the games. I think this was well. Just briefly touch on Denmark. Wales. I'm not going to go for it, but like, I guess my just quick question on this would be Wales. Obviously, were very disappointing. Very very disappointing. I think this is probably the most one-sided of the games. So I'll put that to one side. But I just think question-wise is like, do people think that Denmark have a chance of actually winning this Euros?
Yes.
Yes.
They can make the final, I think.
But... They're in my final, actually. They're in my final. They're facing Italy because I just thought Denmark's playing such inspirational football at the moment. That it's just like, wow. They're just like doing it. They're doing it for Christian Eriksen. They're doing it for their country. It's just like it feels like a poetic story, you know. It's like that. It's like that. It's just that underdog you want to roll for.
Yeah, feel good story.
Yeah. But yeah, I have Italy and Denmark in my final, but it's hard to bet against England. That's why I want somebody to talk more about England. We need to dive this team further. Because like who can actually expose them? I want to know who is brave enough to go out and expose them.
Well, it's to be honest, it's difficult to expose a team that plays because basically he plays
conservatively.
Wire and the Stones. Then he plays 2 holding midfielders in Rice and Phillips, to some extent, or Wipes Henderson sometimes.
And,
You know, so it's difficult to expose that. And then on top of that, you obviously have quick players
exactly
on the break.
On the breaks, you have to worry about. So if you commit bodies forward to try and break down, is which you can.
you got the counter attack.
You got the counter attack actually there. You know, so you know, to be honest, I was thinking whether Germany might have done the sort of ball over the top to Timo Werner, kind of run at Stones and Maguire. Maybe that's
about Timo, man.
Do it. But he didn't do that.
Timo can't dribble, man.
He can't dribble.
But they honestly, Germany did not even play that much convincing football over the tournament because they didn't have enough numbers in their midfield either. They're playing very open football, and that's not very German-like of them, you know. Like it just looked very exposed. Like there's too much space in the middle of the pitch, and like Gundogan looked like he just looked a different player. Because if you're being honest, like he had a PFA Player of the Year type season, and now he just looked like a different player with Germany. Like I didn't get it.
But that's how the fans have been complaining about that for a while with Lowe now. His tactics, that's suicidal high line he plays. Right. And the thing is, they don't have enough pressure on the ball to compensate for that fact that they play so high. That's the thing. Like Germany just so open. They're always open to the counter. That's been their weakness. Like, and the thing with England, man, we just have to give Southgate's. He got to sack this spot because this is what he does, man. And it's actually smart. He's conservative. Start off with when the let's get tired. When other teams let's get tired, he brings on his attacking creative.
Yeah, he brings on a Grealish or a Mount.
And I think that's one of the keys thing. Like this is the weird thing with the England team is that you look at, especially because we've got 5 subs. You look at that bench, and you're always thinking, bro, these guys can bring on. They can bring on potentially Grealish. They can bring on Sancho. They can bring on Rashford who's fit. They can bring on Saka if he's on the bench. They can bring on Calvert-Lewin. There's a lot of options on the bench, squad-wise, that he can bring on to sort of do things, to play, to change, to hold, etc. So I think when Vischer was saying this England squad is one of the best depths, I think that's a good point. It's because they've got players on the bench to change formations easily and to impact as well, which I don't think you'd have said about England quite some time ago.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, if they have one game plan, they're able to switch it up so easily and just like overload the pitch with just class on class talent, man. As much as we want to like keep criticizing these English players as they deserve it, because history's against them, you know. They played like they've always like picked the political players to play for them and not the right guys. But like this time Southgate, I can say like objectively he's been picking the best guys to play his team. And I actually understand why he's not been playing Sancho. Because Sancho decided to make this summer about his move to United, you know? And he's probably thinking like, oh, you're not taking the England team serious enough. While Sterling is showing to me that he's very important to the team, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, fair play.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's at the end of the day, like, no one's going to complain if you're winning. This is the thing. And
exactly the point. Like, how are you going to complain about not starting Sancho when Sterling is clearly outperforming?
Yeah, but I think Sterling is better for the team because of chemistry.
Yeah, exactly.
And to be honest, Saka on the right is fine. As far as Saka had a great season at Arsenal, always had a good performance I've seen England top, and in these 2 games, Saka has been fantastic. So why would you? I'd start Saka again. I see no way for Sancho to come to. If Saka plays like he's playing last 2 games, I don't see how Sancho comes on aside from a substitute, to be honest.
Red Devil, it's actually genius. It's so pragmatic that he knows Saka has actually played defensive positions before.
He has,
so the fact that he plays an attacker, he knows he's going to go all the way back to go defend also, you know? It's almost like extra cover on top of that. Bro, it's actually genius. I didn't want to say all of this because, like, clearly I have an agenda that I need to fix against England, right? But like, I gotta give credit where it's due. I'm trying to see the football as objectively as I can. Because for the first time, I'm coming into a tournament that I don't really have, like, someone I want to support, you know? I'm just watching the football for what it is.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because we have to give England credit, bro. Because for the past 2 tournaments, bro, they honestly, the evidence has shown us England is our solid team. They're a good team, man. That's just the evidence. Like, I mean, you gotta give Southgate his props. Like, I don't know why people were so against Southgate. I mean, for a manager to be bad, he has to show you that he's a bad manager first.
Exactly.
And he hasn't shown that yet. For
Exactly.
for us to say that he's not good enough. So he has to fail. Like, if they lose to Ukraine like 4-1, okay, be like, okay, he needs to go. But you know what I'm saying? Like, but he hasn't shown anything yet for me to say this guy's not good enough. Like,
no, I agree. It says low key England might have had the best win in round of 16. I mean, that's
yeah, no doubt.
I
No
agree.
doubt. Other than Switzerland's heroic performance, but yeah.
I agree, man.
That's fair. You beat a Germany side and you don't concede.
Clean sheet.
Beautiful.
Oh my god.
And who was the man of the match, man? The Man U player. Who set up the first?
Well, I mean, it just goes to show you. I mean, in fact, let's lead into that because Sweden versus Ukraine. Just to quickly go into it, like we go from talking about Harry Maguire, but
his partner.
His partner, on the other hand,
Lindelof, man.
That was bullied.
Shocking.
That really bullied. Sweden. I mean, to be fair, the game was probably lost when Sweden got that red card. I think it was a red card.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't get people's arguments behind why it's not a red card because the foot was high. It was around his ankle, and the player left the field injured and crying.
No, it wasn't even around his ankle. He almost tore his
ACL. It was towards his
He almost tore his ACL. It looked terrible.
So I don't really get, like, the player left the field injured and crying, but it's not a red card. I don't understand. Like, the whole point of having red cards is to stop stuff like that from happening. So yeah, it was a red card and thought they deserved it. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad that Sweden are out. No disrespect to Ahmed if you're watching, but like they're just so pragmatic to the point of no return. And you saw that in the game where, like, yes, they controlled the game for a bit, but they never went out and killed it off. And Lindelof, man, this is why Lindelof can't be a starting defender with Maguire next season. We can't have that. That can't happen. Because like in the Villarreal game, set piece, cross, bullied.
Yeah.
In this case, cross, Zinchenko, bullied. We now know that it's not Maguire. Maguire can make mistakes, don't get me wrong, but I think if you put someone better than Lindelof in, he has a better show. I mean, I don't know what people's thoughts are on that. If at all.
Well, on the game or on the
game?
Yeah,
just on the game, yeah.
I thought Ukraine did deserve to win. I thought Zinchenko was, their best player. I thought Yarmolenko was pretty good. That was a pretty good assist by him. Beautiful ball, and Zinchenko. I thought the goalkeeper could have done better for Sweden. I thought that shot was pretty much right at him, but fair play to Zinchenko for taking it, and it obviously went in. And when it was going down the wire in extra time, I thought it was going to go to penalties, but cross in, header, and Ukraine wins. So they got what they deserve, I would say. They went for the game, especially at the end. And shout out to Ukraine. And against England, I don't think it would be a walkover for England. I think Ukraine will.
No.
They'll be a pushover. Yeah, they're gonna park the bus and make it hell for England. But
yep.
So
gonna be tough, man. That's where you're gonna need your Grealishes and
exactly.
to step up.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I mean, I'd still say he should drop Kane, but I mean, he's not going to drop Kane. So
I think for that game he could drop. I think for that game though, can't be because Kane is the one of the few guys like on the team that can play like a ball over the top kind of thing. But then it's like, that thing though, you need also to score goals, and he's dropping so deep for no reason. I don't get why. Like
he's been doing that for Tottenham all season. I feel like he's just carried that mindset over to England, and it's like, bro, that's not where you're not a false number 9 for England. You know, you might as well just play Phil Foden there if you want to do that. You know, you're in there to be in the box to score goals, you know, and to deliver that. So. So just final of the day, which is a man who I think was unfairly done, and that's De Boer. And to be honest, I feel for the guy. I genuinely do. I take the L on him. I think that I don't think he did anything wrong, massively wrong in this game. I don't. I think De Ligt made a terrible mistake. Obviously, he's a kid, but you don't handle the ball in that position to stop the player going through. You have them. I think the Gary Neville said this once. It was like defenders. It was like, if you're a defender, if you make one mistake, don't make another mistake. So okay, you go on your feet and you fall. Just fall down and let him go through, and then see what happens. And if he scores a goal, that's fine. But he's still got 11 players. But don't make the mistake and then make another mistake by handling the ball, because then you just screwed yourself, you know. So was this result a shock to people? You know, is this on De Boer? Because obviously De Boer has obviously been is left, is gone. I personally don't think that that's right, but that's my opinion. But what do you guys think?
What exactly merited him to get the job in the first place, Red Devil? I'm being very honest.
Koeman left, and I think they needed
just because he's Dutch. Just because he's Dutch.
I guess they wanted a homegrown manager. I guess.
I mean, whatever. But they have such an illustrious career of great players and great minds, and you had to get the one guy who's has a terrible managing record. You know, I'm actually not that surprised that this manifested the way it did, but. You could say it's unlucky, but maybe it's also a mentality thing, you know? You got to drill a certain mentality in.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly could. When they went a goal down, they certainly capitulated. I expected a bit more resilience on this Dutch side, and I mean, there were 3 players on that post. I was like, how did that go in?
Yeah.
With that header, there were 3 players, Dutch players there. That shouldn't have gone in.
Exactly.
And obviously the second goal, enough said. So Gini Wijnaldum, who I was praising this tournament, I don't know why he decides to just go.
Yeah.
You know, he was playing vibes. He was literally playing vibes, just like that. And so he can't do that again, because that was just despicable.
And see, I don't know where they inherited their props to, because what opposition were they playing? If we're being really honest,
well, they played Ukraine. Obviously, they beat them.
Well, that's one good team. That's one good team, and look at them. They showed them such a good fight.
Austria, as well.
North Macedonia
was out of it, and North Macedonia, yeah.
So not the best opposition.
Yeah, I mean, Austria held their own against Italy, so I wouldn't say that Austria were garbage. North Macedonia were entertaining, but obviously they couldn't defend. And obviously Ukraine, well, we know where Ukraine is now. So, I mean, certainly, whatever you say, those teams are certainly better than the supposed group of death teams, because none of the group of death teams are here anymore. So Ukraine is still in the tournament, you know. So but are Belgium, Portugal, or France in the tournament? No. So, you know, they're certainly doing something right. So, but let's move on from De Boer and Frank, and let's just quickly, just as we begin to round things up, actually preview the quarterfinal games. And I just want to get key thoughts and score predictions and what have you. So here's the bracket here, obviously, just a reminder for everyone. The quarterfinals. Right. Belgium, Italy, I think, is the big one.
Yeah.
Damien, Belgium, Italy, man. How do you see this going?
Well, wait. It's confirmed that Hazard and De Bruyne is not going to be.
Last time I checked, they're not participating. But you never know with these, because obviously you know how coaches are like.
Yeah.
You know, they don't reveal their hand. But last time I checked, they're not.
Okay, so I'm gonna go off the basis that they won't be playing. So, the way I see this match going is that, I think Carrasco and Mertens is probably gonna replace them, and I don't really trust Carrasco like that. The games I've seen of him playing for Belgium, if you compare him to in his club season with Atletico, they're two different players. I don't know, he's just making wrong decisions, just wrong passes, just shooting when he's not supposed to, and same with Mertens. I mean, he's getting up there in age, and he doesn't give that same impact that he used to with the Belgium national team. I think Lukaku, most of the mantle is going to be on you to basically carry this Belgium team. I think Italy's midfield will outclass Belgium's midfield with Witsel and Tillemans. I think Belgium's defense will probably get exposed this game. I think you're going to see Vertonghen and Alderweireld, and I forgot the other one. I think it's Boyata or something like that. I think they're going to get exposed in defense, and I think it'll be another disappointing tournament by Belgium again. And I think Italy will win. I think Italy will win 2-0 in 90 minutes.
Mo actually has a good question before we move on to everyone else. Who is everyone's dark horse now?
Denmark have always been the genuine dark horse.
Yeah, Denmark.
Yeah, Denmark.
They've definitely been the genuine dark. You could say Ukraine too, but genuine dark horse is Denmark.
Yeah, I'd agree with Denmark. Probably followed by Switzerland, but Denmark I think would certainly be. SMB says, I heard Hazard did half the training session today. No word on KDB. So that's probably KDB out, probably. But Hazard is a possibility. And he says dark horse is Czech Republic. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's
fair. That's really fair too. They're playing good football. They're definitely playing really good football.
Anyone else have any thoughts on Belgium? So what's your score prediction, Damien?
I said Italy 2-0 in 90 minutes.
2-0 90 minutes. Okay. Vishwa, thoughts?
Yeah, honestly, Damien, that's a really good shout, man. I was gonna say 1-0 because I think it's gonna be a lot closer. But 2-0 is a good shout because later on, if it is 1-0, Belgium will break even more and just concede another one even later. But that's a pretty objective analysis because I'm really surprised to hear Hazard was training because I heard that hamstrings just the way I watched the match and I saw Hazard kept holding on to his hamstring as he wanted to be subbed out. And I heard hamstrings usually take minimum 2 weeks to recover. So I have no idea how he's been training. I actually thought De Bruyne was more of a possibility to come back than Hazard, minimum. But we'll see. We'll see. But in terms of tactics, we already went over this. How is a 2-man midfield of? I know the replacements coming in for Hazard and KDB are pretty decent. Mertens and Carrasco, they can do a job.
Yeah,
but in midfield, I don't know how they play football has not been convincing whatsoever.
Yeah.
If anything, they're relying on world-class ability from KDB or Hazard to bail them out.
Yeah, individual brilliance, I'll say.
Yeah,
they don't play like a team like Italy do. Italy genuinely play like a solid team.
Yeah, they fight for each other.
Yeah.
Score prediction?
1-0, 1-0.
1-0.
Italy inside 90 minutes, yes.
Italy.
I'm gonna go for 2-0 Italy.
Jeez, okay. So everyone's pretty much going for Italy. Italy to win it. Okay, fair enough. Shenkai says Martinez said today that both Hazard and De Bruyne won't play in the quarters. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And Belgium won't play.
What about your quick prediction, Red Devil?
Oh man. I don't know. It's a difficult one because I still wasn't that convinced by Italy against Austria, if I'm perfectly honest. And Belgium, yes, okay, they don't have Hazard and KDB, but I still think they have quality in that team that's better than Austria. You know, I'm interested to see whether Lukaku can give the likes of Bonucci, Chiellini, and that German defense problems, obviously with his technique and obviously his pace and what have you. Pace and power, exactly, literally pace and power with Lukaku. But obviously his link-up play. Obviously, Torgan Hazard had a good game as well. People forget Torgan Hazard is there, you know, so he had actually a good game against Portugal.
Yeah.
You've got the likes of Tillemans, who obviously will have to step up, like Rasco. I mean, like a part of me thinks that Belgium would just do it, but I'm only basing it on the fact that I just wasn't convinced by Italy against Austria, and I think that Belgium are a better team than Austria. However, without KDB and obviously Hazard, that's going to be more difficult. You know what? I'll agree with you guys. I'll give it to Italy. I'll give it to Italy 1 in the 90 minutes. Because I just think the lack of KDB and Hazard is going to be. If they were playing, I would have probably given it just to Belgium, but not. Yeah, I go to Italy.
See, I know you're trying to think about it as rationally as possible, right? But you also got to give credit to the matchups. You know, this Euros has all been about matchups. Yeah. If France got Spain, oh come on, we're not even questioning who's going to win that match.
Spain's
come on,
bro.
This is too easy. But Switzerland play. They defend with honor, man, and then they create such good football, man. And Austria, come on, they were defending with such like honor, like for real. And it's just like they knew Italy played some expansive football.
Yeah.
But and lastly about Lukaku, I don't want to fall again for the bait that I did with Burak Yilmaz. Because again, like these are the teams. These are the teams that need, like, these players. They need service. If they're not going to get their service, they're going to be non-existent, man.
Fair. SB says the more drawn out and boring the game is advantage Belgium. That is a fair point, though.
Yeah, that is a fair point.
You know, the goal that Torgan Hazard was just brilliant. Was just out of nowhere, you know. So.
Just what scares me though is like, because Italy had better chemistry than Portugal. Just the way Portugal, when they actually wanted to play and attack, Belgium just looked completely helpless to do anything. So I just don't know, man. Because Italy's midfield is leagues above Portugal's. So like
levels, bro.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Belgium, that second half looked pretty shaky, bro.
But even mathematically, I feel like Witsel and Tielemans were playing super pragmatic in the second half and couldn't even get out of their own half. Yeah. I think you mentioned that yourself, Red Devil. But
even Denmark,
it's just like they're gonna keep the ball as long as Jorginho. Look, Jorginho's a smart player, okay? He's gonna be the metronome in this game. He's gonna be like, guys, we need to suffocate these guys. Just keep ball, just keep possession, and then finally find these breakthroughs. And the guy who's going to help you make these breakthroughs is Spinazzola. Spinazzola has had an amazing tournament, man.
Yeah. Best left back right now.
Without a doubt. No. Luke Shaw. Give Luke Shaw some credit over here. Right?
Yeah, no, Luke Shaw's had a very good tournament.
High key best left back in the world, you could even say.
Well,
the kind of
easy.
Wow. Some respect, man. The kind of form this man is
maybe in England, maybe in the best left back in the Premier League.
No, especially today.
Maybe top 3, but
2 days ago too. Yeah, what a game he put against Germany, you know? What a shift.
Yeah, dude. I mean, England. They have a good team, bro. Like they have a good team. Like Maguire and Stones. I mean, that's a good partnership. Like those are two good defenders, you know.
Yeah.
Like who's the start right back? Reece James, right? James, he's a good defensive right back. Luke Shaw is
Trippier,
a good
actually.
Trippier.
Trippier is a good he's a good right back. Luke Shaw is a good left back. I mean, Declan
Yo,
Rice is a
wing
good
back.
midfielder. I mean,
Wing back.
But see, that's even proving the point even more. Who did you say would actually make Italy suffer with the fast wing backs and fast actual wingers? It's England. It's
Exactly.
England. England will completely expose Italy.
No, I don't know about exposed, man. I think
They could. No, they're the only team that actually has potential to. I should have said they're the only people who actually have potential to expose them.
I mean, England can match up well with them, I would say, but I don't know.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, they can match up well.
Yeah, it will be a good game, I think.
Very good. That's a final right there. That is. Yeah, that sounds like a proper final.
It could be the final. You never know. So Switzerland, Spain. Also, after Switzerland's exploits, I think this might be a bit more closer than I think people think. Although she said Xhaka has a yellow card, so Xhaka's out of the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
So that's very big given his performance against France. What are people's thoughts on how this game is gonna go?
I think after thinking about this for a while, I say 3-1 Spain. Because when I saw Switzerland, man, when France actually played, Switzerland couldn't cope. When France actually decided to play, Spain is going to decide to play the whole time, But at the same time, though, this could also be a crazy game because Spain's defense just be wide open.
Bro,
that's what I'm saying.
Bro, it's vibes right there.
Yeah,
vibes.
But I see 3-1. I could see 3-1, 3-2, something like that. But I think there'll be goals for sure in this match. There'll be goals. It's going to be an exciting game.
Damien, Spain.
Yeah. To be honest, I mean, I'm struggling to pick who's gonna go through. Obviously, I didn't have this. Switzerland going through. I had France, so that kind of messed it up. But I think both teams can, make it to the semis and both have a case. But not having Jack, I mean, I don't really know who's gonna replace him and put in that same performance he did against France. And obviously Spain's gonna dominate the ball. It's gonna be interesting to see how Spain's attack fares with Switzerland's defense. But I do think that Spain will win, but I don't think it'll be convincing. I feel like it'll probably be like a 1-0, like a scrappy 1-0.
Fair enough. SSB says 3-1 to Spain. Vishwa, I think, have you given me your thoughts on Spain?
Yeah, I mean, this is really tough because everything changes with Xhaka going out, right? We already alluded to it, but this is not a great matchup on paper for Switzerland either. They struggle with the teams that are playing expansive football, like Italy, like we already talked about. So, but you can easily see this going to a penalty again, and Spain will just edge it out. Like Damien says, unconvincingly, but
yeah,
we shall see. And Jeremy Doku is the one who's going to replace Xhaka, I'm pretty sure. And he is a very good player defensively, at least.
Okay.
No, we shall see. I think you mean Zakaria, not Doku.
Oh, Zakaria. I'm sorry.
Doku plays for Belgium.
Yeah. Zakaria, I should say. Yeah.
Fair enough. Right. Okay. Ukraine, England as the penultimate one. Ukraine, England.
Oof. Man, we should just start with you on this, man. Honestly,
I think fundamentally Ukraine are obviously going to be defensive, so it's really going to be on England. So I don't think he's going to go with a back 3-4 against this. It was also away from home, so I think he'll be a lot more attacking. So I expect him to start Saka and Grealish. Obviously, he might play Rice and Phillips together, but I suspect he might go for Rice Henderson. And then the back four will be the same. Carl Walker on the right, Luke Shaw, and the centre backs. So I think the real key just difference is that I just think that he'll probably start Grealish this time to create because England need to create to win against Ukraine basically. Because Ukraine are just going to probably park the bus more. I don't think they'll park the bus completely, you know. So they are a good side, and they will run at us and cause us problems. But I just think that England would need to put on their creative players to basically knock this Ukraine side. And I suspect that, given the momentum, positivity in the club, in the team, I think that England will probably win. But again, much like the previous, it's not going to be a big win. Maybe something like 2-0, for example. 2-0 against Ukraine. You know, 1-0, 2-0, all these things. Nothing high scoring, but just getting the job done. That's my prediction.
To be honest, it probably wouldn't even be an exciting game. Like,
no.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like, because to me, until somebody actually beats England, like puts a goal past England, I have to pick it for England every match. You know what I'm saying? There's no evidence. Nobody showed me any evidence that they can score against England yet. Because even Ukraine, like England played Croatia, they couldn't score against them. Croatia put 3 past Spain. Like, you know, like then Scotland, all these guys Czech, like even Germany, they couldn't score a goal. So I mean, I'm not sure Ukraine. I'm not sure Ukraine is going to score a goal even if they park the bus.
I do think it's weird that like I saw a lot of this isn't a great German team. Germany not on a great side anymore. But then like when Germany put 4 past Portugal, they were a
great side. Yeah,
they're great sides. So I don't really understand how do you go from a great side putting 4 to Portugal?
No, that's not fair. That's clearly
not fair.
That's good. That is not fair whatsoever. So actually, Chamir is the only person that's been talking so much sense right now. Like, we need to put our money where our mouth is and be like, who the hell is scoring against England? Because I can't really think of anyone right now. We all want Ukraine to actually show up and play expensive football against these guys, but who actually has the guts to do it? No one has the guts to do it right now.
If you play expensive football, that's just leaving space for England.
Yeah, and England is good. Sterling is in incredible form. He's going to play so well on the counterattack.
Yeah, you got Saka too as well.
Yeah, dude, because if Croatia put 3 past Spain, it's like Croatia didn't even really like they were going to score against England. So it's like I just don't see because even Scotland parked the bus, they didn't score. Czech kind of parked the bus too. They didn't score. Like even if Ukraine parks the bus, I don't see what evidence tells me they're going to score a goal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no evidence to show that. Like, you know, I would because nobody's really even troubled England. So that one time Sterling gave away that pass and Muller had an open goal. Like, but like as far as like just playing, nobody's really troubled them. So I was like, I don't see Ukraine unless maybe they score from a set piece or something. But I don't see Ukraine really giving England much trouble. Maybe I don't know though. But you just never know. But I just don't see it. Like, there's no evidence to show it. Like,
fair. What are people's score predictions then?
Like 1-0, 2-0, something boring, you know.
Yeah, it's only going 2 ways, really. You could even see it's all down to England and what they do. It could either be a 0-0 or 1-1 at full time. But if England decide to be clinical, they will edge out a 1-0 or 2-0.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Right. Final game before we wrap things up. Czech Republic, Denmark. How do people see this going?
Oh, that's going to be an exciting game, man. Because both of these teams love to attack. Both of these teams, neither of these teams are pragmatic. Like, they both love to come out and play. Because when you saw when Czech played Netherlands, they were brave. Like, they didn't go. Some teams when they play big teams in these games, they go and hide. You know what I mean? Like, the Czechs were going out there to play them, actually beat them. And Netherlands have a style, you know, they have a style of play that they stick to, you know, total football, whatever it's called, the Cruyff philosophy. So, like, I think it's gonna be an exciting game, man. This might end up being the best game because everybody will look at just Czech versus Denmark, but that's gonna be an exciting game, man. Like, and whoever wins that game, though, I think, because England's already beaten Czech Republic, so, and then Denmark, the way Denmark plays really open. I think that could play in England's hands. So, as an England fan, I'm just saying, like, you know, let's not get ahead. We're not gonna get ahead yet, but I'm saying,
it's coming up, guys. It's coming up.
I'm like, for the matchups, it's looking like it might be.
Looks like it might be actually going home.
Yeah,
might be going.
Like
like a
that's
setup.
scary to say. That's a very scary thing to say, but it actually could be going on.
Yeah,
An
man.
exciting game means England could lose, says Mo.
Mm.
Ilias says Germany have trash players like Havertz and Werner. Interesting. Esper says England is going to win against Ukraine. Stu says Ukraine are managed by a winner. Southgate a serial loser. Shevchenko will unsettle England. England have already proved they are mostly a team of egos, barring Saka. Really?
Nah, man, I haven't seen any evidence of that, man.
Where did that come? Where did that come from? I don't know where
Yeah.
in this tournament. No, France. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But
Even
England,
Portugal to an extent.
not particularly. England 1-0 will always be wrong. And Sue, like I said, Asu will be king. The Ukrainians held the French in qualifying. They won't be timid. Yeah, that's true. And the French obviously held 3 against Switzerland and couldn't beat Hungary either. So yeah,
French are home.
that's the problem with the French team. So most astute is the biggest England player for always.
Also, we caught him.
Shout out to Stu, man. Shout out to Stu, man. No, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, like you look at this and England are clearly one of the favourites on this side of the draw. But as we see in this tournament, anything can happen. You cannot be sure of anything. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm sure that England are going to beat Ukraine or Denmark or Czech Republic or whatever. It's just not possible, you know.
Yeah.
And Red Devil, actually, like England's record in Italy is not good at all.
Yeah,
I remember people in England still talk about Italia 90 like it was yesterday. You know,
the final will be in Wembley, though. That's the thing. So this is the thing about the tournament, that if England do beat Ukraine, the semi-final and the final,
they're good to get to the final without a doubt.
Kind of like the advantage of I think what I would say is that I don't think you can take for granted the advantage of having fans and a pack.
It helps a lot.
It help a lot.
I think if we played the game in Germany and Munich, I'm not saying we would have lost, but I think maybe it might have been one of those games that would have gone to extra time, cautious, etc. So I think if England beat Ukraine in Rome and you're playing your semi and your final at Wembley, I think that's a huge advantage.
Definitely favorable towards you.
And we've seen this tournament that a lot of the teams that have played at home have won their games.
The energy from the crowd.
Yep.
So just as we round up, I'll just ask everyone a question. For those who are still watching, if you have any questions for the panel, please get them in. We'll do questions for the last 5 minutes if you have any questions. So please get them in if you guys are watching, and remember to like the vid as well, guys. Just going round. Who do you think is going to win the Euros? Damien.
I'm sticking with my prediction. I'm saying Italy still.
Italy. Okay. Chimera?
Man, it's tough, man. I'm gonna say Italy. Yeah, like I'm gonna roll with Italy, like Damien.
Yes, Chimera. Yes.
Okay. And Vishwa. Who you think?
Man, the answer has to be Italy. It has to be Italy, but I'm sticking to my prediction and saying Denmark. Denmark is playing for a lot of pride here. They're playing for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, that's true, man. They have a lot of
Denmark. I have to. And I really think somehow some miracle is gonna come help Denmark win at Wembley. I don't know how it's gonna happen. I just have this feeling, though. I have to go with the feeling.
Dude, what a story that would be, man.
What a story. You know, you
Bro,
just want it to happen.
An amazing story.
You just want it to happen more so than it can actually happen, you know?
Yeah,
but if I'm being real, it probably is going to be Italy.
So we've got a question for Mo. Like I said, if you've got any questions, ask the panel. Please get them in. It goes a long way. Mo says best player so far still in. Oh wait, so best player so far that's still in the tournament. Okay,
so from these 8 teams.
From these 8 teams.
So the best player that's still in the tournament from the 8 Czech from Czech Republic.
Yeah, you could say Czech. Let me think. Yeah, I can't really go wrong with that. You know, Patrick
Mhm.
Schick. I mean, I'm trying to think of any other players. I mean, I can't really go with any player from Italy because most of their they're more of a team. Like there's no like one individual that stands
Crack
out.
down.
Jorginho kind of stands out for me, honestly. If I'm being real, Jorginho and Spinazzola.
Yeah,
But a good shout is Sterling. Sterling, I think, could potentially win Golden Boot.
yeah, Sterling.
If I'm being real.
Chance, man.
If he keeps up this form, yeah.
Yeah.
This will change so many people, bro. Legacies, Harry Kane's legacy, Sterling's
Oh
legacy.
yeah. Oh yeah. Without a doubt.
Like,
Harry Kane's legacy.
like,
Hurricanes' first trophy could be like the Euro.
Oh, actually, yeah. Sue's a good point. I was thinking there's a Dutch Denmark player, and it's true. Damsgaard for me.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, the
I
kid
agree.
who replaced Eriksson, I think, is a
I
great
agree.
shout.
Agree.
Great shout.
He plays for like Sampdoria, I think.
Yeah, Sampdoria. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
I was actually gonna say him first, but I thought Sterling. You know, he's proved many doubters wrong this tournament.
maybe he should come to United.
Yeah, relax. You can't take everyone, guy.
well, he's not a CDM, unfortunately. So otherwise, you never know. So it's not happening. So anyway, we're rounding up, guys. If I assume there's not any other questions coming into the panel. I assume not. Okay. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you so much for the panel being on. Really appreciate it, and everyone getting involved. Remember, guys, use the channel to like and subscribe to Red Devil Studio, Force United X. We'll be back again with a semi-final preview next week, and obviously the final preview next week as well. And tune in for some match reactions to the channel as well as we get into the latter stage of this European competition. Also, Copa America as well. I've not forgotten about the Copa America. I've just been busy. But the Copa America quarterfinals, if I'm correct, does that start this weekend as well?
Mhm.
Yeah, it starts the same day as the
Same day,
Euros.
same exact day.
It starts Friday and then it ends Saturday.
Damien, who's Colombia playing?
Man, if you
yeah,
guys are
the same
free,
guys.
maybe we might do a Copa America preview tomorrow. If you guys are free around this time, 10 o'clock, something like that.
Oh yeah,
If you
definitely.
guys are watching,
Oh yeah.
we might do a Copa America preview for the quarter as well, because I think that's going to be peak as well.
Yeah, man.
Right. Take care, everyone.
Thank you for having us, Red Devils. Take care.